Hello, and welcome to another Rouge unit of the week. And today we're taking a look at the MI-8MTV. At this point I think we're all pretty much aware of what the MI-8 HIP is. It's the standard Soviet transport helicopter out of the Cold War, which is still used by quite a lot of countries today. It's basically the Eastern version of the Huey, but compared to the Huey it has one really major design difference, and that's its size. But it's a rather big lad. Compared to the Huey, it can carry up to 24 troops, while the Huey only a dozen or so. Also a 4-ton load capacity. One of the reasons for this is really just due to the logistics of the Soviet Union, or really Russia. As you might know, in some places in Russia it gets rather muddy, or it's pretty damn cold, and there's not a whole lot of roads which go in and out. So having a helicopter which can fly over all of that crap and transport a whole lot of stuff is pretty damn beneficial. However, just like with the Huey, the MI-8 wasn't just used in a transport role. It was fitted for a whole variety of mission profiles, such as gunship. Let's say with S-13 rockets, which are quite a deadly weapon system. They were developed in the 70s to be a mid-ray point between the 80mm rockets and 240mm rockets used by aircraft at the time. These S-13s were really more designed for dealing with more hardened structures such as pillboxes, machine gun nests, bunkers, and also for just blowing up roads and runways to make them inoperable. In-game, the MI-8MTV is a 35-point transport helicopter available to the USSR. It has 2 weapons. So first up, you have a 50 caliber machine gun, which no one cares about, so we're not going to care about it either. And then you have the S-13 rocket, 20 of these 122mm monsters, with a range of ground of 2.3 kilometers, 30% accuracy, 20% while moving, 4 HE, and a rate of fire of 57 rounds a minute. These are rather big rockets, they do a lot of damage. You don't get a whole lot of them, but you don't need a whole lot of them to ruin someone's day. Up down to miscellaneous stats, it has 1 frontal armor, 1 side armor, no back armor, and no top armor. 8 HP, big size, poor optics, a speed of 250 km an hour, poor stealth, a very good fuel autonomy of 950 km, year restricted to 79, and type restricted to motorized and airborne. So in battle, the MI-8MTV is pretty much the superior MI-8 compared to the other variants for the Soviets, because even though this is 10 points more expensive compared to the cheaper MI-8, it's all about those rockets, baby. Those S-13s do tremendous amount of damage. With 4 HE, you will pretty much annihilate enemy infantry squads quite quickly, and heck, even lightly armored vehicles as well. And this makes it a very good helicopter to use in an opener, because you can bring this thing to the front line to unload the infantry, and then it can do quite a bit of damage at Russian enemy transports, which are trying to get to the point which you already unloaded your troops into, and you can hold them off and heck even kill them quite well. Also, its rather decent HP pool of 8 HP and 1 frontal armor does mean it can take a little bit of damage. It can survive a man-pad shot or 2, which is quite vital for helicopters which will be getting in quite close early on. Of course, one of its major downsides is the lack of ammunition. You're going to go through those S-13 rockets extremely bloody quickly, so this requires quite a lot of resupply back at your base to keep it combat operational. But this is what makes this helicopter really cool, because it's not just a transport helicopter where you unload your troops and that's really it. Maybe have a minigun or some machine guns which you kind of just yeet into the enemy anti-aircraft defense. This thing acts as a pretty damn capable fire support helicopter after the troops have been unloaded. Speaking of troops, there's really 2 main options you're going to be bringing up with the MI-8MTV. First one being, of course, Gorna Strackley 90. These guys are so bloody good at holding, especially more open areas of the map early on. They can fight quite effectively because they're a 10-man team, and the Metis ATGM is absolutely deadly. And then of course Spetsnaz as well. That does make it, along with the infantry transport, the helicopter, quite an expensive combination, but as I've seen in replays, this combination of infantry and helicopter fire support can actually hold off a quite surprisingly powerful force, at least for a time. This is probably one of the best helicopter transport options for the USSR. The transport Hinds are a little bit lackluster as they have very terrible PTGMs. The Ka-29 is probably a close second as it is a little bit faster, they're a bit more expensive, but you do get more rockets, but they're not as powerful. Overall, the MI-8MTV is just a fantastic transport helicopter that also acts as a decent little attack helicopter at the same time. It does a very good job of providing very good fire support to your unit right at the start of the match, and can continue providing that fire support throughout the rest of the match until it eventually gets killed by an F-104 starfighter. And well, I'm going to leave it off at that. It's been another Rouge Unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.